Greetings and peace. I hope you and yours are doing well today, wherever you might be watching this from. Now, the title of today's video will be a Masonic spiritual and religious interpretation of James Allen's As a Man Thinketh. I was told to read As a Man Thinketh from one of my good friends that I had went to school with, and I had really enjoyed it because the teachings of As a Man Thinketh, it's a short read, but it basically lays out the basic guidelines of life on why it's important to control your thoughts, your emotions, and your logic. From a Masonic point of view, we are taught that studying logic as one of the 7 liberal arts is one of the most important things you can do in your quest for self-improvement. From a religious point of view, from Sufism, from the Sufi aspect of Islam that I follow, is that you are the creator of your own reality, where you yourself are heaven and hell, depending on what kind of thoughts that you put out there. Same thing from the spiritual point of view. Order out of chaos. Sometimes you have to fall down to get back up stronger, and vice versa, and all that good stuff. The black and white tiles, good days, bad days, good days. But ultimately, it's your stoic nature and reaction to things and situations and challenges which might come up in your life. So we grow up throughout life. We're told about certain expectations, certain deadlines, guidelines that we need to meet. We need to be married or have kids by a certain amount of time. We need a good career, our job, our own place, car, all that good stuff. Whatever society puts that expectation on you. But why aren't we taught the aspect of happiness and self-fulfillment and finding inner peace? Growing up in America from an Eastern perspective, I've seen so much trauma here. It's unbelievable. From trauma growing up in the families, then that same trauma is projected in relationships and jobs in their personal lives. Those kids who do become adults, ultimately there's still those hurt kids inside, and they need to do that inner work, the shadow work and inner healing in order to help themselves progress into the beings that we're meant to become in this life. And we have a system that's designed not to give us a break in any way. We have to create our own boundaries and own breaks and take things one day at a time. There's a thing that I liked what James Allen pointed out in the book is ultimately you are the determiner of your own peace. There are rich people who have all the money in the world, but they're not happy because some of that money is cursed. Maybe they did something to get that money which was not going to benefit them in this life and the next. And there are those people that have nothing, and they are so happy and they're so peaceful and so calm. And I could relate that from because it's all about how you view at life. And either of those people, they both go to sleep with a full stomach. They both have families. They're both going to go in the same grave, leave everything behind, and take only your good deeds with you. And that reminded me of the aspect of Sufism, where we are taught that it's ultimately God is the only reality, or what you know as source or spirit or whatever people refer to as the divinity. Everyone has their own interpretation, but it's all one reality. So ultimately, when we die, in my background, we say to Allah we belong and to Him we shall return, because everything else is an illusion. We're all projected, or a wisp, a thought form in the mind of the Creator. And the Creator is experiencing this reality through all of us. Through me, through you, through your friends, through your spouses, through your children, the trees, air, animals, everything is part of that one source. So once you come to that realization, how can you hate anybody or have resentment for anybody? Yeah, you have the aspect of relationships and friends. Those things come and go in life. But ultimately, your fate, you do have free will. But some things are predetermined. So why fight it? And ultimately, just have a good thought form. Be at peace. I don't think that a lot of people that thinking that I have to chase degrees or women or titles. I never cared for any of that stuff. Whatever I desired, it just came to me. I didn't have to chase after anything. So it's that law of attraction, but you must be a pure-hearted individual. Don't have dirt or any hatred or darkness in your heart against anyone. Wish well for everyone in your life. That includes people from your past, from your present, and your future. And just be at peace, my friends. This world is too divided right now. It's too divisive. We have a system that places corporate values over human values, and then we wonder why do things go wrong? Where we hold preference for profits over people, or if we don't get what we want from somebody, then they hold no value to us. Everyone has a value. If you're all part of that one source, then you're all worth it. You're all loved. You woke up today, you still have a purpose, and you're here as long as you're needed. And that's what we can learn from the teachings of James Allen, is that with the short time that this life has given us, stay in gratitude. Choose good thoughts. Be the maker of your reality. If the Creator is within us, like all these holy scriptures are telling us, and we're experiencing the reality in these physical avatars in the flesh, why waste your time thinking about trivial nonsense? It's like what he said in the book. There are people who are rich, they have everything, they're still not happy. But then there are those that are poor, they're happy with what they have. And that's what I believe. I don't think our degrees, titles, cars, and all that stuff that we're going to take with us, that's only for this world. What you will take with you is what good did you do for yourself and others. And that's your reality. How would you react when you had a bad situation in life? Do you only give gratitude when you're having good times all the time? Because you cannot have good times all the time. It's like with the Masonic black and white checkerboard. You have good days, bad days, good days. Some days will be for you, some days will be against you. But your character is determined. You could claim to be on the spiritual path all you want. There are those that I know that have deep traumas and deep wounds, but instead of healing those wounds, they will put the band-aid of spirituality on that. That won't help you, because ultimately, when that band-aid breaks loose, you will ultimately bleed on those that you have attracted into your life. And that's not fair to them or you. So the reality is that, how will you react? Where, okay, in good times, from my religious perspective, no one remembers God. But in bad times, everyone's crying out to God for help. So the thing is that in bad times, your character is ultimately determined. And what James Allen is teaching us is that you must be a man of your word, a man of your virtues, and a man of your character, to stand on the principles that you say you will stand on, through good times, bad times, neutral times, at peace, and at war. Because then that determines your real individual source self. Have only one mask. There are those that have many masks for work, for business life, personal lives. I ultimately say, just be yourself. Be yourself. I was always myself in all my situations in life, in school, college, running a business in the Philly area. I did all that stuff. And what benefited me, what attracted people to me with the law of attraction, how I gained friendships and people gained a liking to me, was I was always myself. I didn't scheme against anyone. I didn't plot against anyone. I always thought good thoughts for everybody. And that's this energy that I attracted into my life, which ultimately what James Allen is teaching you in the book as well, is that in order to create your reality, it ultimately depends on you, because you are that physical temple. And if your inner frequency of your inner temple is good, beneficial, then you will manifest that reality out into the external world. So let's say you go to some bad neighborhoods in America, and overnight, 1,000 of them in one area get to that realization that, what are we doing? What's all this stuff happening in our neighborhoods? Why don't we do something about it? Why are we waiting for these people in suits to come and help us? This is our neighborhood. We'll take care of it. And if 1,000 of them change that frequency overnight, the situation of those places would change overnight as well. So our thoughts, our reality, the law of thought, and us experiencing this life and determining how we react emotionally, logically in situations of good and bad, or situations that are for us or against us, ultimately is our ultimate test. I've been in situations that were impossible. People would tell me, hey, you can't do that. You wouldn't be able to make that happen. But it's the law of your attraction. What are the reality are your thoughts trying to project? And that's what you will create. If you think of good thoughts, positive thoughts all the time, you will find some help. You will project that light, and others will be attracted to your light. and they will come and seek your guidance. Being in situations where I was at the right time, at the right place, somebody needed to hear something that I had to say or do something that I had to do for them, whether it was good or bad, ultimately, there is no coincidence. And you remember the second Matrix movie where Neo and Morpheus and Trinity go see the Merovingian, and somehow in the middle of the meeting they get escorted out. And Neo says, did we mess up? Was there something that we said or something we did wrong where it didn't work out? And Morpheus said no, as they were riding down the elevator, that everything happened the way that it was supposed to. So there are no coincidences in life. And as they got off the elevator, the help that they were looking for was right in front of them. So that's another thing James Allen is teaching you, is that when you set your mind on a certain purpose, like I want to save money, I want to face my problems, I want to handle these situations or be a better person in my life, be more positive, be more in gratitude, then yeah, there might be some hurdles here and there, maybe some blockages that might be removed in the form of places, persons, and things, and you will get what you're trying to manifest. It will come to you. And that's what I'm saying, is that in this reality that you're trying to create, you must be always in a state of gratitude and always in a state of love for self and others. Love is the only reality. And I tell people, this life is too short. We spend all this time trying to please others, trying to make ourselves look good for the world, and before you know it, your life is over. Did you take enough time to help yourself create better thoughts, create a better reality, control your thoughts, tell others around you that you love them, forgive your family or any friends from the past that might have traumatized you in any way? Learn how to forgive, learn how to love, learn how to accept. That's the reality that you will create as a man thinketh, as what our great brother James Allen has taught us in his studies. And that's exactly what we have to do. We have great people that are out there. Sometimes they get into relationships, both parties are good with each other, and then intrusive thoughts might come into the mind of one person, intrusive thoughts from the other side. And that's that battle between good and evil that many say, that when you're trying to do good, these evil thoughts or the evil ones will try to whisper in your ear or try to deviate you away from what you're trying to get. So think about it this way. If you basically block out your thoughts and I look at the reality around me, okay, I'm in this space, everything is fine. When I block out my thoughts and I come out of this physical vessel and these intrusive thoughts that come in my mind, I look around, everything is fine. I have everything I need. All the luxuries of life I have in front of me. I have a roof over my head, I'm enjoying a nice cup of tea, all my bills are paid, I'm happy, I have a good family. Then why the intrusive thoughts? Why do you create the walls in your own life or self-sabotage yourself? That's what James Allen is teaching us, is that sometimes that the walls that you bring up thinking that, oh, this person might be thinking this about me, or this person that I'm about to date is plotting this against me or has an agenda or anything like that, you're doing that to yourself. No one's out here to get you. I grew up in different countries. I've been in different countries in the East and the West. And I know, unfortunately, I mean, in the East, it's like more spiritual. People are more inclined towards spiritual paths and religion and all that stuff. And then there's the concept of loyalty and relationships and all that. But here, you come here, and even though it might be a first world nation and you have all the benefits of society and advancements, people are broken here. From broken homes, from broken relationships. They might have a happy face on, where for a job they have to smile, but inside they're hurt, they're suffering. Why? Because this society tells you that money is more valuable than people. You have to work 7 days a week in order to pay your rent and bills, otherwise you're gonna die. And you can continue to do that for 30 years and the system's still gonna stay the same. And it was never designed to give you a break anyway, just to keep you in a constant circle. So in these thoughts, you have to create your own reality, your own boundaries, Know what's real, what's not real. Know what somebody's out there projecting or pushing hate against people. Like we see right now, with the whole COVID situation, the hate against Asian communities. And I, as a Muslim growing up in the post 9/11 world, have can relate to them in a way where I tell them, hey, I grew up in this country just like you. I have tears, heartbreaks, failures, success, wishes for my family, just like you do. I'm not different from you. Then why do we let these other people who come and shape the narrative for us and create our thoughts for us get to know somebody? I could go out here in the street. If I turn the news off, who like to shape our thoughts, I could go out here now and see there's people of all backgrounds and religions living here peacefully together. They work together, they're in the same community, their kids go to school together, they ride on the trains and buses together. What's the problem? Now, that's the same intrusive thoughts when you get the evil forces that try to put intrusive thoughts in your head to try to deviate you from your purpose. A lot of them operate in this realm as well, in the form of these different outlets. Because if they really wanted to benefit humanity, they would be preaching messages of unity and peace, not fear, not division. They know who they are and what they're doing. It's just like if you see the movie They Live from Roddy Piper, rest in peace. And you see, and he wear these sunglasses and he would see these different alien entities walking around. What was the source at the end that was projecting their fear and illusion? It was the news. He went to the local place and turned their antenna off. That was it. But how you can combat that in your life in a peaceful and likable manner is just don't give it your energy. Because wherever your attention goes, energy will flow, like it says. So give your attention to positive thoughts, positive experiences, positive people. Bad things happen, okay, there's that concept of Stoicism and logic and not making decisions in emotional reactions where you will end up sabotaging yourself, in the teachings that James Allen provides in his book. And I'm giving my own analysis from my own personal point of view. I would recommend you check out the book, and I'm thankful to my friend for recommending it to me. So if you want to get the full understanding from A to Z what he's trying to tell you, and what I've been able to get from it, from my explanation in this video. And from the Masonic point of view, since I will label this as a Masonic education video, is all these things that I've discussed in this video so far all apply to your aspect of self-improvement and uplifting the fallen state of mankind, which is the goal of the Mason, which is the goal of any person who's on that spiritual path. Block out those intrusive thoughts. Those thoughts are not you. Don't let those thoughts make emotional decisions for you that will end up hurting you and those around you that love you. And know, who am I really? There was a guru from India, I believe his name was Maharshi. Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that. And he had a realization at a young age where he realized that everything, it's still. Just stillness of the mind, stillness of the heart. If I just stand still like this, what is there really? Where are my problems? Where are my fears? Where are my anxieties? There's nothing there. It's me. It's me that's the problem. I create my own happiness, or I create my own problems. It's like Omar Khayyam, the Persian poet. He said, I myself am heaven and hell. It's you. It depends on what life and decision you want to take for you and your family. It says in the Holy Quran, man can only have what he strives for. Yeah, there is that concept of God and the divinity, but if you're not going to make the effort to honor your relationships, honor yourself, control your thoughts, control yourself, and improve yourself in all manners, then the divine won't help you either, because they don't interfere in your free will unless you ask them to. You know, evil is there. They don't like you anyway, so they will put intrusive thoughts in your mind. So you make bad decisions against yourself and your family, thinking everyone's out to get you, and you just want to be by yourself when actually nothing is really there. And I've seen that in all countries, not just here in America, but I've seen that thought pattern. And, you know, in some countries it's a little less because they have more spiritual values and a family unit system that still kind of thinks, that still helps, like, keeps things together. But human nature can be relevant in different places. So you gotta control your thoughts. Those thoughts will either make you or break you, depending on your occupation, situation in life, anything else. Just know that in life, wherever you're meant to be, whatever you're meant to be doing, it cannot escape you. Your fate has been written out in a way for you to play your part and do what you need to do. It's like what Shakespeare said, we're all actors on a stage, we're all here to live our parts. Just don't hurt anybody. Don't break anybody's heart. Don't break anybody's trust. If you owe anybody an apology, please pick up the phone and call them and do it. It's never too late. It won't make you a lesser person by doing that, because that's usually our ego. And that's another thing James Allen points out in his teachings, is that we are not our ego. I am not this physical vessel, or the ego, or thinking, oh, this person said this to me, or she's ignoring me, or this person's doing this to me. Who am I really? I'm just here a short time in this life. I might go to sleep right now after making this video and I'll never wake up. Where's my ego? Where's my problems? Where's my anxieties? Gone. All gone. So control your thoughts. For the Mason, that's important aspect of self-improvement. And it's like what they tell you even in Masonry. You get out what you put into it. Holy Quran, man can only have what he strives for. All these spiritual paths, attention goes where energy flows. So they're all teaching you the same exact thing. Be a good person, have a good code of conduct, live a good, clean life, have a good thought pattern for self and others. Know that good times and bad times are inevitable in life. That doesn't mean that the world is out to get you, or your spouses are out to get you, or you have an agenda that's out there to get you, or if you've had parental issues growing up, or somebody's going to abuse you, or have any kind of agenda of abandoning you. None of that is true. You be the one that breaks the cycle in your family or in your situation that you're facing. Be the better person, be the better man, be the better woman, be a good man, be a good woman. If you need to get help, professional help, do it. But get your thoughts back in order and know that this life is beautiful. This life is short, but it's also beautiful. We didn't just come here to work and pay bills and die. We came here for a greater purpose. And for my Masonic friends will understand this, is that we just came here to walk each other home, show our love to each other, and touch each other's hearts, and the relationships and the friendships that we build with one another, and the experiences. That's what you're here for. That is the ultimate wealth. That's what the rich person experiences, good times, experiences, and memories that they build with their loved ones. That's what the poor person experiences, building relationships and memories and bonds with their loved ones. And ultimately, when it's time to leave the body, we all meet the same fate. And it's ultimately our actions that will determine whether you did the right thing or you did the wrong thing when your heart gets weighed on the scale. So please do the right thing. This life is too short. Love everybody. Don't have any resentment. Just be kind. Be kind. And control your thoughts. So again, I thank my friend from school that recommended As a Man Thinketh to me, that I was able to pour my heart out in this video and reflect on its teachings. So please, I recommend you read it on your own and come to your own conclusion and analysis. And I wish you all well for what the rest of this march ahead lays ahead for you and your loved ones. My love to all of you.